The moment we come into this world through our mother's womb, we are nothing but a bundle of pure being, spotless, void of all impressions. You can see it in the eyes of a newborn. They are bright, full of awareness, without judgment. This is one of the reasons why we wish to have children. We want to experience that purity of being once again, that we ourselves have lost over the years being conditioned by this world. Soon after we are born, the world around begins to shape us, starting with our parents, then our extended family. They begin to impress upon us the language, their impressions, and their own experience of this world. As we continue to grow, we begin to make friends. And by the time we are in our teens, going through high school, and eventually college, the foundations of the person we experience ourselves to be have already been laid. And as life continues, our experience continue to expand, and so does the complexity of our personality. Now, this person, which comes from the Greek word persona, which means mask, it is a mask that we wear for the rest of our lives. Unless someday, for some reason, we begin to question it. Now, this person has an important role to play in the story of this world. So it has its purpose, but it also becomes the source of our suffering, as it conceals our real nature as pure being. It is like this planet that we live in, which is a continuous landmass, but somehow humans have managed to divide it into countries with borders, lines drawn on a map. But do we ever see those lines in our experience of this world? No. In a similar manner, when pure being appears as this person, an individual, it, it assumes and appears to have a finite form. Now, since the being is infinite and undivided, so there are no parts. So even this body that appears to be a finite parcel of that being is just an appearance. But now, since it appears to be a particular individual, it needs to interact with the rest of the world. Just similar to how a vehicle has the capability to drive, but without a driver, it cannot do so. Well, these days, they can actually. But regardless of that, what I am referring is to the function of driving, is the function that assigns that activity. So similar in concept that this body needs a driver to interact now with the world that seems to be separate from it. Pure being in and through this body, but reflected in the brain specifically as consciousness, becomes the ego, the intellect, the person. that seems to appropriate, that seems to take charge of this body. But in doing so, it also begins to assign ownership, begins to attach to things around itself, begins to believe that it is just this body and the rest of the world out there is something else separate from it. And so now, with this existence of apparent separation between this individual and the rest of the world, emerges the relationship of the experiencer and the experienced, which totally depends on the sequence of causes. So, this person, the experiencer, experiences good things and bad things, and then attaches to them, assigns value to them, indirectly assigns value to itself through those experiences, and suffers. But if you can imagine yourself as the newborn right now, with absence of all this persona, you'd realize that you'd be the embodiment of that pure bliss, pure awareness. And so awakening becomes the journey of rediscovery of that real nature, the rediscovery of our real essence, the rediscovery of our real identity as that pure being, that is pure absolute bliss, without association to anything that is experienced in this world. In late 2024, when this realization dawned on me, this was the first thing that was revealed. In an instant, I just knew in my experience that I am that pure awareness. I am that pure being. And that person all along was just an illusion. It's just an apparent movement on the surface of the ocean of that pure being. Just similar to how a wave arises and collapses back into it. No matter what I experienced in this life until now, or whatever I will in future, that pure being, that real essence of me, is ever untouched, never truly affected by it. And that gave me that sense of freedom that I always had and just forgot, in a sense, if you can imagine, because there's no forgetfulness or remembering in that pure being. If you gain something valuable from today's video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and my message. God bless to you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.